Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Here you'll find tons of videos on wellness, lifestyle, esoterics, and so much more. And I share a lot of my life from the lived experience. Also, feel free to check out my apothecary where I make sea moss gel and other goods. Subscribe if you love this content. So, what is up? Today I decided to make a video talking about postpartum. How I'm surviving postpartum, what is postpartum depression, am I experiencing it, all of the things. So I wrote some notes, so if you see me glancing down, it's because I'm looking towards my phone because I really wanted to make this a succinct video, but also make sure to cover all the things I feel like any new mom, parent, friend of a parent would want to know. So first things first is I've been dealing with probably the biggest mental challenge of my life. I feel like I've been fighting my mind, postpartum depression, or even postpartum. I wouldn't claim depression because I feel like I'm actively doing the things to not be depressed, but I feel like that is also a journey in itself, right? I don't necessarily feel good all the time, even though I'm very aware of these feelings. That doesn't change the fact that I'm experiencing it, right? So the biggest thing I would say I'm experiencing is negative thoughts and rumination. This is completely normal if you're a new mom or a new parent. Your body is going through something that is to help change your biology so that you are now able to be a parent. Biologically, on a cellular level, you change, you have different hormones going through your body. So some of the anxiety that you might be feeling or worry is natural because you do have a new life to protect, and you also are now probably looking at the world from a very different headspace. I spoke in another video about my, I would say, I wouldn't want to call it like, my birth story is a whole near-death experience, which I do want to talk about. So if you guys want to hear me talk about my birth story, please feel free to comment below. I would love to share it, but as a projector, I would love an invite. So invite me to talk about these things. But going back to my original thought, what I was experiencing was not just like the near-death experience, but all of the fear, anxiety, and things I was experiencing. I knew that it was because I was learning that like life is truly about survival. Like I went through a period of, oh, we are a species. Like when you see your body give birth, you realize like, oh, like this is real. You know, like the human experience is like one of strength, right? And of perseverance and grit. And I think that like I kind of was a little more easy breezy about life until this experience, and it just made me realize how much self-development is important. Because yes, relax, enjoy life, but also like trust that if you do feel the need to grow in this period, it's on purpose. Biology, your body, your biological processes in your body are preparing you for this new chapter of your life. So another thing I do want to talk about, because I feel like I couldn't share this experience without mentioning the fact that I do have ADHD. I was diagnosed, and with that, I got diagnosed during my pregnancy, and I've also been taking ADHD meds. So that has been a part of my journey, I'll say, during postpartum. I don't know how much of my negative thoughts and rumination could be coming from the medication I'm taking, which is guanfacine. If you guys have any thoughts and comments on that, I'd love it below. Or if it's just my natural postpartum process and biology. So even moving forward, I'm not so sure if I want to continue taking it because I feel like I'm in better health. I've been taking vitamins and supplements that have helped me get through this postpartum process that I feel like have elevated my mood a lot more than the guanfacine has and helped with my anxiety. So with that, I'm in a better space. and I'm not sure what the elements are. So I'm still like in my experimentation, my trial and error, Human Design 3-5. I'm still in my trial and error regarding what works best. But I'm gonna share with you guys some tips that could work for you. Big thing that has helped me, as I told you, like I have moments where I have negative thoughts, but I definitely have healthy support and community around me. So my mom and I weren't really close before, but during pregnancy and now postpartum, we have gotten pretty close, and I'm understanding a lot more of her world, and she's also has a better understanding of me because I think she's also done some inner work. So with that, it's been a great experience to be able to vent about something or need advice about something, and I'm able to share it with her and get some feedback. Also, I've been aware of mom support groups, there's a dad support group that my partner's in. So with those like resources for us, I also got another resource called I feel like it's called like First LA or Baby LA, but anyway, we've had an abundance of resources from moms groups to dads groups. During my birth, I had a doula, midwife. I got a grant so I can have the birth that I wanted. So I did have a lot of support and resources pre-pregnancy, and even now postpartum. Oh my gosh, I'm not re-recording this. So yes, again, lots of support pre-pregnancy and even now postpartum. Number 2, another major tip, I'll pull my top up. See if you can carve out some alone time. For me, that was a struggle, especially at the beginning, because one, I naturally do like being alone, but even just being with myself and my child, I was pretty cool with that until I started getting burnt out. And of course, as many moms probably realize after the fact, like you probably needed a break before you took a break. So I started getting burnt out, and then I realized I need more like fully alone time. I'm a Human Design Projector. My daughter's a manifesting generator. I'm pointing that way because she's with her dad at the pool as I record this, because he knows that even my creativity, I need my alone time. It's very hard to create content when you have a daughter, and or a child in general. I have a daughter, but it's very hard to create content with a child around, especially if you want to create quality content. And I also know some of the things I create, I don't necessarily want to have her in it. So with that, I do need that downtime to think about the things I want to create, journal, spend time with myself first, and then also time to do the things I love, like time for my passions and projects, fully alone and in my own aura. So that's why I did mention Indy's aura type, because manifesting generators are way more active, way more energy. They are energy beings, so they have way more energy. And as a projector, I really do have to be mindful of how I expend my energy, because I am not always able to access lots of physical or sacral energy. So next thing I'll talk about is freedom for yourself. And I think I pretty much covered this, but really true like freedom, I think for me, I was able to go outside more, like go further places. And now my circumstances are different. My partner and I share a car, and it's not as easy for me to just pick up and go somewhere. But the good thing is that I can create ways of feeling like I'm escaping my home or not being in my home by going to a coffee shop, taking a walk in a beautiful environment. I'm learning that, like, especially as a mom, sometimes you have a screaming baby in your ear, sometimes you're really tired. Make sure the environments you go to fill you up. Like, it's beautiful, or it's calm, or it's quiet. I love quiet, so I need it, and I need to go places that are quiet to get that. So if you know that's something you need, like, please give it to yourself. One thing I've said to my partner, and I'm going to mention it here because I had someone tell me, I wish people said it the way you said it, is men will always take care of themselves. And at first I was like, oh, it's super selfish, but they know that they are providing for a family, right? And they can't do that unless they are taken care of. I realize now as a parent, I literally have to take care of myself. And when I say take care of myself, I mean before I would wake up and then start packing his lunch, and I'm breastfeeding Indy, and I'm just doing all these things before I actually just pour into myself. And now I'm like, whether it's the 5 minutes in the bathroom or knowing I'm gonna take a shower while she's sleeping so I just feel good or refreshed, I know now I have to do that before I do anything for them. And at first I felt a little selfish like saying that, but I got to the point of being physically burnt out, and I had to realize I have to be more direct in what I need. So that goes into my next point. Make sure you get deep rest. I had a panic attack, and it was that panic attack that taught me that I needed to be more selfish, one with my time, not just with my immediate family, of just pouring into myself before I pour into them, just for their well-being and my own, but also with friendships and relationships. When you become a mom, you realize you have 0 time. And that realization was so beautiful for me because I became way more perceptive about where I needed to spend my time, how I needed to spend my time, and with who. And also, I'm just in a different phase in my life. Certain things I just energetically don't want to be around or just can't necessarily deal with right now. And I had to realize, like, I just can't be everyone's friend. And I can be more impactful for people when I carve out the time for my creativity, where I can make a video like this and share it to so many more people, and still be mindful of my energy, as opposed to calling different people or like trying to just keep in touch with everyone. Like, this is a cozy girl, this is a sleepy girl, she needs her rest, okay? Let's just put it like that. Okay, this is one of the biggest postpartum tips I think I can give you, is please, please, please trust the process of growing into motherhood. It is not easy becoming a mother or a parent by any means, and then the realization of that makes you look at your whole life before a child differently. But one thing I will say is that if you choose to grow with parenthood, it's actually so much easier than fighting it. Like, I was fighting it so hard. Like, I would be going on walks and still trying to do the walk I did, the long 1.5-hour walk or hike I would do with Indy, and I couldn't do that at 3 months. I knew that, like, I was feeling it, and I just thought, okay, I wanted to get back and go into my routine, but I had to realize, like, it's actually going to be easier dealing with her if I flow more and stop forcing things, because I really wanted to do things how I did it before. Like, I don't know how else to explain it to y'all, but I thought, like, that's basically it. Like, don't push against the tide, because the reality is flowing with parenthood, following your child's sleep and rest routines and their eating habits, even though it might be new for you, you will find that you can carve more time out when they're fully taken care of. It's a lot harder when you're still trying to do what you want to do, and that's why you're frustrated, they're crying. But you know that you kept them out 20 minutes longer than you needed to. You know what I mean? Or you know you stayed at an event too long. One time Indy got overtired, and I was at a friend's house for her birthday, and her other friend also helped me. Like, they were both super sweet and like held me in that moment. She took Indy for a minute, but she was crying so much. And even then, like, I felt bad because she was crying with the girl who was helping me, but they knew I needed that mental break for a second so I could jump back in and fully help her. So I'm recording in my sunroom, so I know even when I edit this, there's gonna be people and sound, but I think getting the true thought and experience out is what I want you guys to feel and hear. So yeah, rely on your partner. Like, I realized Jack likes when I ask him. He likes when I'm very clear about what my needs are and I just state it. He's not a mind reader. I can't expect him to know everything, but if I ask, he always delivers. Thank you, Jack. He always delivers. Another thing, speak up for yourself and do what works for you. When you become a new parent, everyone's going to give you opinions, thoughts, beliefs. Then you can be conditioned by it and don't realize it. So I really want you to know, especially if you're a projector parent or a parent that does not have a sacral center, manifestor, projector, reflector, please make sure to honor yourself, speak up, especially manifestors. It's literally your strategy. Inform people of what you're doing. Then the next thing is, when we don't speak up for ourselves, we keep that energy in our bodies. I'm reading the book, The Body Keeps the Score. I'll link it for you guys. But The Body Keeps the Score is amazing, and it really talks about how trauma can stay in the body. And when we do physical body work, when we dance, when we sing, when we communicate through creativity, we release any traumas that could be stuck in our body and the emotions. And when we do this, we break our subconscious fears, and then things that we never thought we were able to do, like me recording and sharing this, you are able to let go those fears and do things you never thought you were capable of, and then some. And as a mom, as a parent, super, super important, because you want to show your child that they can do that too. And if we don't handle our generational patterns, we cannot help our child break them, or even just help our child, I don't even want to say break, but not pick them up to begin with. And create better generational habits and routines. And lastly, when you don't, you end up being fatigued. You have even worse anxiety, and you have rumination. When I do not speak up for myself, especially if I've been hurt or offended by somebody, it feels like it's just stuck in my throat, or my heart gets tight. There's of course other things you can do if you don't necessarily get to be in the space to handle that. But I will say, if you do in that moment, please know it's okay to speak up for yourself, because as a parent, you are now protecting another person. And if you are not in a space to be comfortable speaking up for yourself, it's very likely that when you're in a situation that you need to speak up for your child, you're silent. And that is the worst thing. It's the worst feeling too. Every parent is going to have that moment, because you're not always going to know the right time to speak, and know that it's okay. Everything happens for a reason, but also know awareness is good, and to know and trust your voice is a good thing. Okay, and this is my last thought. Okay, you know what you need in this period of your life. You know the support, healthy friendships, and your overall well-being needs to be taken care of. So that means if there are things that are not in alignment with that, it's okay to not put your energy on it. You don't have to make a major decision about cutting people off or not talking to people or doing this or that, but you do now have to redirect and refocus your energy on the things that matter right now. And of course, what matters first is well-being, because if you're not well, you are not going to be well for anyone else. And I don't say that to make anyone feel like they're not good, but I say that to really encourage you to prioritize taking care of yourself, because I don't want you to be in similar situations that I've been in, where I felt like I didn't take care of myself, or I didn't speak up for myself, and I didn't like the outcome. But the good thing is I can take that and share it with you guys, and hopefully you don't have the same experience. So if you are a postpartum mother and you enjoyed this video, I hope you liked it. Feel free to subscribe. I will be continuing to share my journey of motherhood, wellness, human design and esoteric spirituality, locks, all the things, all the things. But I will continue sharing my journey with you guys. I just want you to have all the resources. So I'm also going to link my Amazon shop with some wellness supplements that I loved, that's been helping me through pregnancy, postpartum, and so forth. I also have another video of that, so I will link it here. Isn't it great when you have videos that you can link to your videos? Yeah. So I'm going to link it here, and I just love you guys. Thank you for sitting with me, and this has been fun. Peace.